Rams, Eagles. Let you start. Let's go. What do you like?
I mean, I got the jersey on. I think we know where I'm going with this one. Give me the Eagles. -6. -6 on the Eagles, the only real big favorite. I trust this weekend. And I think, look, we can argue about which offense is better here, but this is about the defense, and this is a huge mismatch. Since the bye week, the Eagles are the clear, by far, number one defense. The Rams are still a bottom 10 defense. And I know they played really well Monday night. I thought that was more about the Vikings, but more importantly, in this matchup, I think it's a really bad matchup for the Rams. They are a small defense. They are a fast defense. They've built that way on purpose. That's great against Minnesota. They're quick getting after Sam Darnold. It's not so good against power run teams like the Eagles. They just played this game in Los Angeles in November, 37-20 for the Eagles. Philadelphia in that game ran 45 times for 314 yards. They dominated that game, 480 yards to 290. That's a huge margin. They had scoring plays of 8, 10, 10, 12, 12. They're just chewing up the clock, moving it down the field. Saquon had his biggest game of the season, 26 carries for 255 yards, 2 really long ones added to that. Here's what's interesting. Saquon in that game averaged 7.3 yards before contact. That's not just Saquon. That's the O-line. This is an O-line win to me. Dominating. You can tell, too, because they played last year without Saquon in LA. The Eagles won 23-14. 454 yards to 249. Again, a huge margin. 38 minutes of possession. The Eagles ran 39 times in that game. Less yards because they didn't have as good a running backs as Saquon, but the O-line dominated. They know what they are, and they do it that way. Rams defense on early downs has not been great this season, so I think the Eagles just stay ahead of the chains and keep moving things. And the Rams, especially against top 10 run offenses, have not been good this year. 2-4 against top 10 run offense by DVOA, over 28 points a game they've allowed. In one of those, the 2 wins was the 44-42 Buffalo win, the shootout where they played like perfect ball the whole game. The other win was against Arizona when James Conner was out, who's the power run guy for them. So I don't even know if that one counts. If you look at those 6 games against the top run opponents, 5 of the six worst games they played defensively all season were those games against run opponents. 24 points or more allowed, all but one of those. 24 or less in all but one of the other games against not top running teams. So I think that is a pretty damning stat for the Rams here. Defensively, I like Vic Fangio kind of eliminating the deep stuff, forcing Stafford and the Rams to matriculate down the field, let Stafford make a mistake or two. Looks like maybe a snow game. That to me feels like a run-heavy script as well. Look, the Eagles played the Rams 2 times in the last 2 years in LA. They won by 9 and 17. What is this line? Eagles -6 in Philly. I just think Eagles are the right pick here. Now, I can't get too confident because all the trends tell me to not trust the division home favorites. So I'm not going to go too crazy here looking for an escalator. But I do think if you like an escalator to look at Philly's team total to just rack up points, just run the ball on them all game. Since the bye week, the Eagles have 26 or more points, 8 out of 14 games. So you can just do the team total over 25.5. That's the line if you want. But they've scored 33 5 times, 37 3 times, including that Rams game. So a little bit on the Philly team total escalator. 28 points or more is plus 170. 35 or more is 5-1 odds. I won't go too crazy on this one because the trends tell me I should fear betting too much on the favorite here. But I just think this is a really bad matchup for the Rams, and I like the Eagles a lot here. Even all my fears with Jalen Hurts, I don't think they come into play here because why even let him throw the game? Just run the ball all game long.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think Hurts needs to throw it a ton. I mean, historically, he's been better at home than on the road, especially in the playoffs. 3 home playoff games. He's 3-0 straight up ATS. They're covering by almost 17 points per game in those 3 home playoff games. Philly's defense also allowing only 24 total points in those 3 games. So, I mean, history's on your side. And I also like that Hurts lead the playoffs and rushing touchdowns bet. I think something like that could come alive here where Hurts scores 2 and all of a sudden maybe he's leading at the end of the round. It's like 12-1. All right. Your prop, what are you thinking?
Yeah, my prop goes right along with that. I do like the Jalen Hurts touchdown here. So just give me the Hurts anytime touchdown, -115. We got that quick slip in there for you. Just a very easy, straightforward bet. You want Philadelphia rushing something here. That's what you want. But if you want Saquon, good luck. You're going to be playing 22 attempts, or his rushing line is 113 and a half yards right now, which I haven't projected higher than, but that's a really high number to get to. Hurts, 10 attempts, you got to go on the over. I just think he gets a rushing touchdown. He scored against Washington earlier this year. He barely played in the other Washington game. So if you look at basically 15 games he played this year, 14 rushing touchdowns, scored a touchdown in at least in 10 of the 15. If you look back now, he's scored a touchdown on the ground 29 of his last 43 games. That's 67%. That should be minus 200. We're getting minus 115. It's just too low for me. I don't really love the escalator prices here. If you want the 3 touchdown Hurts bet, he has done that a couple of times, did it in the Super Bowl, 33-1 for 3 touchdowns. He's probably not going to do it, but I think it's a bad number. I think it's like a 3x value, what it should be. And then I think better is if you like the Hurts touchdown here and you like the Eagles, like you said, you're going to get a good matchup next round. You're going to like him against either Detroit or Washington the next round. 5 rushing touchdowns in 3 games in the Super Bowl. When he made the Super Bowl, he scored 5 times. So I think you look at a Hurts future of some sort. 3 touchdowns on the ground in the playoffs is plus 650. 4 or more is 19-1. I like the 19-1 there. 15-1 for touchdown leader. Some way investing in the future for Philly, I think, is a good way. But the main bet here is just keep it simple. Jalen Hurts, get 1 on the ground, minus 115. Get that in the quick slip.
Yeah, I don't mind that. First of all, hit the quick slip, but also kind of climb the ladder a little bit there with some different angles.